Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, everyone's having a good hump day today. The week is almost over. It's downhill from here. If you're just getting off of work or listening to this in the evenings after I post it, and you work a 5-day week, Monday through Friday, the majority of the week is done. It's just 2 more days until the weekend. With that being said, I know people don't like CNN. I don't really like CNN, but it's the only one that would open up without asking for money or asking for a subscription or blocking my ad blocker. So therefore, unfortunately, I'm going to be using CNN. But who is Viktor Bout, a Russian arms dealer known as the Merchant of Death, touted for U.S. prisoner swap? It seems like Russia is getting a good deal out of this, but Biden's being tough on Russia. The future of two American citizens detained in Russia could hinge on the release of convicted Russian arms dealer nicknamed the Merchant of Death by his accusers, whose life story inspired a Hollywood film. Viktor Bout, a former Soviet military officer, is currently serving a 25-year prison sentence in the United States on charges of conspiring to kill Americans, acquire and export anti-aircraft missiles, and provide material support to a terrorist organization. Sounds like what we did in Afghanistan when Russia was fighting them. But let's continue on. Bout has maintained that he is innocent. The Kremlin has long called for Bout's release, slamming his sentence in 2012 as baseless and biased. Kind of like how people are saying this person is baseless and biased, even though she went into a foreign country bringing contraband that she knew that was contraband, is now dealing with the consequences. CNN reported Wednesday that Biden administration offered Bout up as a potential swap for the American basketball star Brittany Griner and former Marine Paul Whelan. According to the People brief on the matter, on the same day, Griner testified in Russian court, as part of her ongoing trial of drug charges following her February arrest at Moscow airport. Whelan was arrested on alleged espionage charges in 2018 and sentenced up to 16 years in prison in a trial that U.S. officials called unfair. Would it be safe to say that Bout's trial in the eyes of Russia was unfair? I mean, I'm not trying to be pro-Russia or pro-United States. I'm trying to be as neutral as possible. But if you were to separate my Team America approach, I don't see the difference between the two. I mean, one excusing the other is, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I just wish that we just get along. Their families have urged the White House to secure their releases, including via prison exchange if necessary. Now at the center of the bid is Bout, a man who eluded international arrest warrants and the assets freezes for years. The Russian businessman who speaks 6 languages was arrested in a sting operation in 2008 led by U.S. drug enforcement agents in Thailand, posing as the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, known as the acronym FARC. Don't know much about them. I probably should know more about them. He was eventually extradited to the U.S. in 2010 after a protracted court proceeding. Viktor Bout has been an international arms trafficking enemy number 1 for many years, arming some of the most violent conflicts around the globe. most of the violence. I mean, that kind of sounds like America's policy, said Pete Baum, the U.S. Attorney of Manhattan, when Bout was sentenced in New York in 2012. He was finally brought into justice in America court, agreeing to provide a staggering number of military grade weapons and to an avowed terrorist organization committed to killing Americans. The trial honed on Bout's role of supplying weapons to FARC, a guerrilla group that has waged an insurgency in Colombia until 2016. The U.S. said the weapons were intended to kill U.S. But Bout's history in the arms trades extended much further afield. He's been accused of assembling a fleet of cargo planes to traffic military grade weapons to conflict zones around the world since the 1990s, fueling a bloody conflict from Libya to Syria, Lebanon, and Afghanistan. Allegations of trafficking activities in Libya prompted U.S. authorities to freeze his American assets in 2004 and blocked any U.S. transactions. Bout has repeatedly maintained that his operations legitimate business and acted on the mere logistics provider. He is believed to be in his 50s, within the age disputed because of different passports and documents. His early days are mystery. Douglas Farrell, a senior fellow at International Assessment and Strategy Center, who co-authored a book on Bout. I mean, if he's a spy and the government hid a lot of his growing ups, that would make a lot of sense. Farrah told Mother Jones magazine in 2007 that according to his multiple passport, Bout was born in 1967 in Doshaban, Takistan, the son of a bookkeeper and auto mechanic. He said Bout graduated from the Military Institution of Foreign Languages, a well-known feeder school for the Russian military intelligence. He was a Soviet officer, for most likely a lieutenant, who simply saw the opportunities presented by three factors. All right. I was making sure it's not too long. Presented by three factors that came with the collapse of the USSR and the state sponsorship that entailed abandoned aircraft on the runways of Moscow to Kiev, no longer able to fly because of the lack of money or fuel or maintenance. Huge stores of surplus weapons that were guarded by guards suddenly receiving little to no salary, and the booming demand for those weapons from traditional Soviet clients and to newly emerged armed groups from Africa to the Philippines, Farrah told the magazine. Bout has said that he worked as a military officer in Mozambique. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Others have said it was actually Angola, where Russia had a large military presence at the time. Farrah told CNN he first became known when the United Nations began investigating him in the early to mid 1990s, and the United States began to get involved. Bout, who reportedly used the names including Victor Alakovich Bout, or Victor Bout, or Victor Butt, or Victor Butt, Victor Balkan, and Vladimir Makovich Amavov. Hopefully I'm saying those names right. I don't really speak Russian. Is thought to have been the inspiration of arms dealer character played by Nicolas Cage in the 2005 movie Lord of War. I kind of figured that's where they were going with this. In 2002, CNN Jill Daughtry met with Bout in Moscow. She asked him about his allegiance, not allegiance, but allegations against him. Did he sell arms to the Taliban, to Al Qaeda? Did he supply rebels in Africa and get paid in blood diamonds? He denied each claim. which is interesting because when Russia was attacking Afghanistan, which probably led to the fall of the USSR, we actually funded a lot of arms to the Taliban, which later loosely became Al Qaeda. It's false allegation, it's a lie. He said, I never touched diamonds in my life, and I'm not a diamond guy. I don't want that business. I'm not afraid, he told Diary, I don't do anything in my life that I should be afraid of. I mean, if this is true that he is an international weapon importer or arbitrator of weapons, I don't think this is a even trade. And Russia's, if he is an asset of Russia, it's definitely in Russia's favor if we were to do this prison swap. Now, I don't know much about the U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. I know I did a brief story or brief video the other week on him. I just don't know a whole lot about his story, so I cannot speak with full confidence onto that. I don't know if the allegations towards him are true or not, but I can speak to Brittany Griner. Apparently, she admitted that she had the contraband. Whether or not you agree with the contraband or not agree with the contraband, this is neither there or whatever. She went to a foreign country and she brought contraband and she has to pay for the consequences of that. So I can speak with a little more confidence. Not going to go towards her character. I know that when Trump was in office, she wasn't a fan of the Orange Man. Let's put it that way. And she said some not nice things of public relations from America towards certain ethnic background which she is part of. And I think it's kind of rich that she's asking for the United States to save her when she was bashing it a few years back. But I guess when you get in trouble in a foreign country, certain values or certain principles kind of go out the window. I don't know. It's just how I feel. Do you agree with me on that? Also, do you know anything more about the this Victor Von person or Victor Bout person? Because I really don't know, and I don't know if the Lord of War was a accurate portrayal of it. Because if it was an accurate portrayal, it seems like Americans or the American government or certain elements of the American government help fund him and give him. Now, this is according to the actual movie itself. I do understand that the movie probably took some liberties of making it more movie worthy, but this is nothing new. I mean, the United States doesn't have the best track record when it comes to the moral high ground. Same thing with Russia, same thing with Ukraine or any government that has some significant global stage power. Anyways, leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. Do you think this is a good deal, or do you think this is a in favor of Russia? Because if this is a true representation of him, I think Russia is benefiting more. But leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are, and smash the like and subscribe button on any and all platforms, or just the platform you're currently watching. With that, most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.